Hey guys, it's Nova, and welcome back to The Monster in Me. As of the last episode, we are about 1/4 complete with the game's endings. So, let's see what we have to do to unlock some new endings. Because as I think I mentioned in the previous episode, so far it seems like the decisions that I've been making, I don't want to say that it's guaranteed that we'll get certain endings, but it seems like there's like a pattern. I think I even said that I used those same exact words. If you do XYZ, you know, you're bound to get, you know, this outcome, and if you do this thing, you're bound to get this other outcome. So, you know, I'm interested to see if there are other characters that you stumble upon. I would think so, but I'm also wondering if there's other locations that we can go to. I mean, I'm pretty sure that this warehouse is the only, like, location in this game. But I'm not sure. Now, trying to remember what happened in the last one. Oh yeah, the last episode, we, I think, let the mother and son into the warehouse, but then because the kids started crying, we basically told them to leave. So we got that ending. So now I have to figure out what we have to do differently to get a new one. So I'll see you guys when we get to the first decision. Alright, so first decision is, of course, I'm being asked to give my feedback on the warehouse. What do I think of the place? So, previous Let's Plays, I've always said, you know, I think, you know, highly of this place. And then I think in only maybe one of the Let's Plays, I said I was honest about the location. So, I know in one Let's Play, I was also seemingly, well, not seemingly, I was pretty negative towards Anna. So, I'm going to see what happens if I do the opposite and, like, basically make it all the decisions that would upset Jacob. So, I'll be honest. And I know that's going to mess up their morale, so both of them will take a hit. But this time around, I'm going to see what happens if I push Jacob to his limit. So, I'll see you guys when we get to the next decision. Alright, so we're at the decision where Jacob basically wants Anna to stay up and stay on guard, and Anna wants to rest for the night. So I'm going to agree with Anna. I don't remember if Jacob takes a hit to his morale by me siding with her, but this Let's Play, I want to see what happens if I make most of my decisions favor against him. So let's see what happens. Okay, so it did tank his morale a bit. Okay, good to know. I have to keep that in mind for future episodes. Alright, so I'll see you guys when we get to the next decision. Alright, so here we have the instance where the woman outside is calling out for help. Jacob's all like, don't let her in. Anna's all like, we need to help her. Now, I know like maybe in the first 2 episodes or so, I was like, we need to help the lady. But then going forward, I was kind of like in the same mind frame as Jacob. It's too risky. Plus, you know, I also said too in one episode, we don't know if she's just saying that to be, to get, you know, to tug at our heartstrings, so to speak. You know, she could actually be with the people who are supposedly attacking us, and then once we let her in, you know, she could betray us or something. But, I'm going to actually side with Anna, because again, I want to see what happens if I constantly side with Anna or make decisions that would upset Jacob. So let's help her. And I'm just going to speed through the text here. And she's down. Okay, so I was right. She still does lose morale either way. If you choose to help the lady or not. I think you suffer, or she suffers more of a morale loss if I had sided with Jacob and said not to let her in. So I'm pretty sure he's going to take a hit too. Let's just confirm that. Yeah, okay. So he gets upset with me as well. Alright, so far every decision that I've made has upset Jacob in one way or another. Anna, 50-50, I guess. So I'll see you when we get to the next decision, guys. Okay, so we're at the decision where Jacob basically asks me, how are we doing on supplies? So in a previous, one of the most recent episodes, I actually opted to lie because I wanted to see what would happen. And I didn't actually notice a change in morale when I lied, and then even when I tried to maintain that lie. Although I did say, maybe I did it in the last episode, I don't remember now. One episode I lied and then tried to maintain the lie, and there was no change in morale. And then if I recall right, in another episode, I think I opted to lie, and then I opted to tell the truth, you know, and come clean. And I don't think they got upset with me. I don't really remember. I do know if I'm honest though, they get upset, which is understandable because nobody wants to hear that their supplies are running low in such a situation, but I am trying to basically see what happens if I constantly upset Jacob, so I'm gonna hit be honest. And hopefully that will actually, I know that sounds kind of twisted, but I'm trying to see if we actually get a different ending by upsetting Jacob constantly, so okay, so that did. And I'll see you when we get to the next decision, which won't be very far off. Alright, so after a little bit of squabbling, now I have to side with either Jacob or Anna, and Jacob's decision to go to the supermarket to get supplies. So now here's the thing. Jacob's morale is going to go down either way. It'll go down like 2 points if I side with Anna and say, you know what, I don't think you should go. Whereas he can go... See, this is hard because if I side with Jacob, he'll get a little bit of a bump in morale because, you know, I sided with him after all this time, so to speak. But then he'll lose 6 points, I think, when he finds out that there's nothing at the warehouse. So what's going to actually be the better choice in the long run? Like, I hadn't actually been keeping tally of how many points I've lost so far between the start of the episode and now, but every decision that I've made has constantly been negative. So let's see, if I choose to side with Anna, I think he'll only lose 2 points. Whereas if I side with Jacob, he'll wind up losing 6 points altogether. Although technically it'll be 3 because if I side with him, he'll initially gain 3 points, so the difference will be 3. But then I'm kind of worried that if I side with Jacob, that usually almost always means that I will... Oh wait, I just realized. You know what? I am going to side with Jacob. You'll see why I opted to in a short while. But I'll see you when we get to the next decision, guys. Alright, so I was actually misinformed when I was replaying the scene right before we got to this decision. I thought Jacob basically got like 3 points of morale when you chose to side with him. He actually only got 1, so he's gonna suffer like a difference of 5 points lost to his morale because he didn't find anything at the supermarket. So I think I chose the right thing. Also, the reason why I opted to send him after all was because I just remembered that, you know, if he goes to the supermarket, he'll basically run across Bill, and then the option will come up later to either let Bill into the group or not let him into the group. And I think that if, you know, once that situation happens, and I choose to not let Bill in, he'll get upset with me, which will tank his morale further. So that might help us to get a different ending. So hopefully that will come up. Hopefully my theory is right in that sense. But I don't have any reason to upset Anna, so I'm not going to be honest. I'm just going to lie about it. And I'll see you guys when we get to the next decision. Alright, so we're at the decision where Bill has just knocked on the door and is asking for us to let him in. And we can either trust Jacob and side with him, let Bill into the group, or we can be wary and be like, no, we don't want him in the group. So, as I mentioned just a few moments ago, I kind of want to be wary, just to, again, I know it sounds twisted to do this, but I do want to kind of constantly upset Jacob, just to see if tanking his morale will basically unlock a new ending, or at least give us some new choices or something. Since I kind of actually did that, but with Anna in a previous episode. So, I do want to click on that. I'm trying to think, though, because I've constantly chose negative decisions for Jacob, if I turn around and trust him this time around, and then we let Bill in and all that happens, if we'll get an alternate ending in that sense. Because I have a feeling, and I'm kind of worried, that if I choose to be wary, you know, and then we don't let Bill into the group, that we'll just basically get the ending with the couple again. Either the peaceful ending, or the ending where we basically attack them. I don't know. This might end up being a slightly longer episode, or I might even edit all of this out, because I don't want to be constantly uploading the same footage over and over again, in a sense, you know? Let's try it, though. Let's be wary. And I'll see you guys when we get to the next decision. Alright, so as I had expected, we had the decision to let the couple, Simon and Eloise, into the warehouse. So, let them in or be cautious. So, I'm trying to think. I think in all previous plays of this scenario, I've chose to be cautious. Not that it really mattered, because they overruled me anyway. You know, Jacob and Anna overruled me. And then I think they had a bump in morale by letting them into the group. Now, I'm wondering if I choose to let them in, if I'll see like a higher rise in morale, or what? Like, I know it doesn't make sense to just click be cautious, because they're gonna ignore me anyway, but I'm wondering if by doing that, I won't see as much of a raise in morale as if I just say, you know what, yeah, let them in. You know what, I am curious, though, to see what happens if I just say, let them in. I don't think we really have a choice. 1 and 1. Oh, it wasn't that much of a bump. Actually, now I'm wondering if it would have mattered. Okay, so I'll see you when we get to the next decision. Alright, so we're at the decision now where I can choose to say something, you know, and introduce myself formally, or I could say nothing. Saying nothing basically lowers Anna's morale a bit. I don't think there's any change when it comes to Jacob, because he's just, you know, rude as fuck. He doesn't seem to care whether or not if I introduce myself, so I'll be friendly. And I'll see you guys when we get to the next decision. I don't think there's any more decisions apart from the quote-unquote final decision here, so let's see if anything changes. Alright, so we're at the decision again where we can either let Jacob attack Simon and Eloise, or I can stop him. So here's the thing, I'm kind of worried in the sense that I basically just replayed an ending that we've already seen before. And then two, I don't really know if anything's going to change. Like, because I was so overly negative towards Jacob, like, I don't know if like, what's the right decision, so to speak. Like, if I choose to let him kill him, yeah, to kill Simon, like, I don't know if, this will send Jacob into a downward spiral, and then we get, like, a different ending in that sense, or if I choose to, stop Jacob, and ironically, what I thought was going to happen previously happens, you know, Jacob actually gets shot or killed, you know, we'll get a different ending in that sense. Like, I'm not sure. I do feel like the choices you make do affect, the different outcomes that you get, in a sense, but I don't know. I got a feeling we're about to get an ending that we've already seen before, unfortunately, so I might end up having to cut all of this out, but we'll see. Okay. Jacob decided to go off on his own. He said that the two of you were just going to get him killed, that you didn't have what it takes to survive in this world anymore. You never saw him again. Huh. Okay, so I am glad that I did that. I am glad that I did that. So now I know that if I make certain decisions in certain scenarios, that will actually change the ending that I get. And Jacob ended up ditching us because he was like, screw this, you guys are gonna get me killed. Okay, interesting. So I'm wondering now, if I had done all that and opted to kill them, if we would get a different ending. But let's see what we got this time around. What it takes. Interesting. Okay. So you know what? Now I'm somewhat convinced too, now that what I did back in the episode where I kind of went against Anna at every chance that I got, that did have an influence on the fact that she betrayed us in the end, and then that basically got her killed. So now I think I have an idea on how to go about getting these other endings. So that's good to know. In any event, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. The road to get all 24 endings is still ongoing. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I hope to see you next time. Take care.